All right, so those are the big headlines coming in as far as the electoral results are concerned. We've been discussing the implications for the economy and for the markets. Joining us now, Vikas Khemani of Edelweiss. Vikas, appreciate you joining us. You know, we had a pre-election rally already underway. What do you expect this to mean now Monday morning?
I think definitely, market will cheer up. There would be, gap up opening. But I think more importantly, at least markets would sort of get some sense into a decisive mandate for the, central election. And I think that is more important. And I think that situation, I think, will be sort of more factored in the market. And slowly you will see, more optimism happening in the market. So I do feel that, investors will become less uncertain about the market apart from the global factors, and as and when that happens, I think one has to look into it. But from local factors perspective, I think it will be positive. Also, I think Congress might take a stance in a last-ditch effort to sort of come back with strongly and to sort of do certain things which might push growth or investments.
Because we'll come to that in a bit.
Yeah.
Just tomorrow, is it 6,400? Is it 6,500? How does tomorrow or next week pan out, you think?
I think definitely there is expectation of 1 to 2% kind of gap up opening, because I think partly it got factored in after the exit polls.
Yes.
So, and I think you will see 1 to 2% more gap up opening. I don't think, beyond that, if that happens, probably you might see some sort of profit booking coming into place, but definitely 1 to 2% kind of gap up opening, and I think sort of sustaining through the week is what I would expect.
Okay, that's critical. Can that gap sustain? Because so far we've gone to 63.50 2 or 3 times and we've come back. Is there a risk of buy on rumor, sell on rally, or sell on news actually playing out in terms of these state election results as well?
So I think one can't really precisely say that how it eventually pan out, but I think definitely the mood will remain positive. I do not see a big sell-off coming in the markets. Definitely when the news comes out, market tend to sort of do some profit booking, and the extent of rally will decide that. Because if it is 1 to 2%, I don't think there will be a big sell-off in the market.
The good news of the state elections is coinciding with some very strong data coming from the United States.
Yes.
And at such times, there is always a home bias. I know my country, my currency is not going to depreciate, so why should I go elsewhere? Do you think that there is that fear which will overcompensate for this positive local news, and therefore you see 6,400 and then you sell into that rally and then wait for things? Is that a possible scenario?
But Lata, if you see, I think data has been strong from coming out from US for some time, and I think despite that we've been getting good FI flows. I mean, to counter that, I think US markets are very expensive, and investors there are also looking for diversification and and attractive investment destination outside US. So I do feel that QE2 taper this time around will be less sensitized. I think world at large, emerging economies at large have been better prepared for that, and I don't think that kind of impact what we saw last would be there. So while it is an issue, it will be an overhang, but I don't think investors would right now at this point in time, without having any clarity, I think still it is at least 2 to 3 months away. So for next 2 to 3 months away, anything happens, they will start sort of selling now. So I do think that this momentum at least will remain for some time.
Shireen?
Well, that's as far as the market momentum is concerned, but let's talk about the political momentum. Rajdeep Sardesai, editor-in-chief of our sister channel CNN IBN, with us in the studio. Rajdeep, well, congratulations on getting it right. You said 4-0, and that's exactly how it's turned out as far as this election is concerned, in favor of the BJP. But, would it be simplistic, premature and naive to imagine that this kind of what seems like an anti-Congress wave, pro-BJP momentum will actually lead to this result being replicated as far as the 2014 general election is concerned?
Shireen, I will first say that this is an anti-Congress wave. You call it a tsunami, call it a wave, it's been anti-Congress. If it was a pro-BJP or pro-Modi wave, then BJP would have swept Delhi as well. I think we need to add a rider, which is why when you say 4-0, I will say 3.75 plays 0.25. Because
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Would BJP have lost in Delhi if they hadn't actually projected Narendra Modi in Delhi? Because if you look at the communication, you look at the advertisements, you look at everything, Harshvardhan was a post note. It was Narendra Modi eventually as far as Delhi was concerned. Would Delhi have been lost if it wasn't for Modi?
There are two ways to look at it. If Modi had not been, if Modi had not been projected, as you are saying, the BJP could have done worse. On the other hand, despite Modi being projected, the fact is BJP did not get a majority. But that, to my mind, is a footnote at the moment. The big picture is just one. There is only one message come out from this election. There is voter anger, and 3 examples of that. Vasundhara Raje has won a bigger majority than anyone else in the history of Rajasthan, even bigger than in the emergency years, bigger than even what Bhairav Singh Shekhawat, the tallest leader of the BJP in Rajasthan, has. In Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan has done better in 2013 compared to 2008 despite anti-incumbency against his MLAs. And Raman Singh has managed to stave off an internal rebellion and has won Chhattisgarh for the party. And in Delhi, the Congress has had its worst ever performance. Even in 1993 they didn't do as badly. They've ended in single digits. There is only one big message coming out which is common to all the 4 states. The voter is angry, very, very, very angry with a party called the Congress, whether it's in Delhi or whether it's in Jaipur, whether it's in Raipur, whether it's in Bhopal or whether it's at the center.
Well, we've also got Sanjay Nirupam joining us now of the Congress party. Sanjay Nirupam, I think it's going to be hard for you not to acknowledge what Rajdeep is saying. The voter in Delhi, in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh has voted against the Congress party. This is a vote which has said that what has been done at the center and also what has been delivered by Congress governments at the state have not worked, have not delivered. This is an anti-Congress vote. Today, do you admit that? Do you acknowledge it? What is the big lesson? What is the big takeaway as far as you're concerned?
At the outset, I would like to accept the defeat of our party in all 4 states with full humility. There is nothing. I don't deny this. But at the same time, I don't think Sheila Dixit government was not able to do anything in Delhi. The Delhi has seen a complete...
No, but people actually say Sheila Dixit has suffered because of the incumbency of the centre and what the UP has actually done at the centre. Sheila Dixit, people say, has lost the Delhi election more on account of what the centre did as opposed to what she did or didn't do as far as the Delhi government is concerned.
You may be right. What is the exactly reason behind this defeat? We are going to analyze it. We are going to introspect for our defeat, and in the future, and if anything, whatever went wrong, we have to analyze it. We have to basically do the introspection. But at the same time, I would like to tell you, price rise was an issue, but price rise was not the only issue. Because in Delhi, if the
yes, corruption was an issue. Corruption was the big issue, Mr. Nirupam.
No, I'm not.
Mr. Nirupam,
I'm not saying that. Yes, corruption may be.
Let me move this discussion forward. You talked about
if you are not allowing me to complete my sentence, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. If you are not allowing me to complete my sentence, then there is no point. My point is, yes, corruption.
Please go ahead, sir.
But do you think that? There are no corrupt ministers in the BJP government? There are 14 ministers in Madhya Pradesh government against whom the corruption cases are pending with the Lokayukt office, and the Honorable Chief Minister of that state is not giving permission to the Lokayukt to initiate any action against these ministers. In Gujarat, Narendra Modi's cabinet, there are 4 ministers, 2 convicted by the court on the issue on the basis of corruption charges.
But sir, the fact of the matter is that the voter has still voted. But the voter has still voted Shivraj Singh Chauhan back, sir. The voter has still voted Shivraj Singh Chauhan back. That's why I said let's talk about the road ahead, sir. Let's talk about the road ahead. We just heard from Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi saying that we will now aggressively transform the Congress party, that we will bring in the people's voice and embed it into the structure of this party. We've heard this, for the last several months, ever since Rahul Gandhi started his campaign. We've heard this being said in Delhi. We've heard this in various rally speeches across the country. When is this going to translate into action? You're a couple of months away from the 2014 general elections. The voter is not buying your argument. The voter doesn't seem to be buying your sales pitch.
What is the argument? Which argument voters are not buying?
The fact the only argument that you're making is we are for the Aam Aadmi, we are for the common man, we will give you food security, we will give you Narega. But the voter in Rajasthan, which is where actually the food security, the food for work program originated, the voter has voted out Ashok Gehlot, a landslide victory for Vasundhara Raje.
The Congress party's fundamental policy has been to focus on the issue of poor and poverty. We have been making plans, programs, schemes to basically help the poor people. Just because of one defeat in one election, we are not going to change our policy as far as the helping poor people is concerned. There are 17 schemes, flagship schemes of the government of India, which is pro-poor, and I don't think we are going to change these schemes. So if anything, if we have lost the election, okay, we accepted the full immunity, but that doesn't mean the basic philosophy of Congress party will be changed. Our focus is going to be poor and poverty, and we have to eradicate poverty. These schemes which are based on the subsidies, if nobody wants it, then it's a different thing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people of this country who are poor, who are left behind, they need this kind of support from the government, and we will continue to giving them support.
But
Okay.
sure, Rajdeep. Yeah, Lata, go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Nirupam, therefore, as Shireen was asking you, what is the strategy in the next 4 months? Will there be more freebies for the poor, you think?
I don't think more freebies are required now. The schemes, the programs has to be implemented properly at the ground level. Like the food security bill, you may call it freebie or just a khairat type of thing, but this is primarily meant for the poor people of this country, and we are going to implement it aggressively. One. Second point, no more freebies, but whatever are available with us, we have to implement it on the grassroots level. And we have to, I told you in the beginning also, we have to introspect, we have to understand what went wrong exactly. Our strategy, was there anything wrong in the strategy? Was there anything wrong in the planning? Was there anything wrong in the campaign level? We have to analyze it.
All right.
We are ready to analyze it. We are ready to introspect it. But at the same time, if you call the basic philosophy of the Congress party will be changed just because of one defeat, I don't accept. I'm not ready to buy this idea.
Okay, Mr. Nirupam, thank you very much for joining us
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Rajdeep, actually, I wanted to toss this to you. You know, clearly it's an anti-Congress wave. There is no taking away from that. But look at the vote share of BJP as well. Barring Delhi, everywhere it's a dramatic increase. Well, not dramatic, but a pretty distinct increase. Vote share in Rajasthan increases by 13%. That's quite a landslide for a swing. Madhya Pradesh vote share increases by 9% and Chhattisgarh increases by 4%.
Yes.
Should we therefore extrapolate that the BJP and the Modi factor in particular would do much better than pollsters have estimated so far?
No, I think Rajasthan is a good example where clearly the Narendra Modi factor does give an incremental support to the BJP. But the fact is, when there is voter anger against one party, voters look for who is the immediate alternative to that party. In Rajasthan, that was the BJP. Mr. Modi campaigned aggressively. That gave them maybe a 2 or 3% bounce. But the fact is that there was anger against the Congress. Look at the vote of the Congress shrinking. Similarly, in Madhya Pradesh, it's the shrinking of the Congress vote that naturally in a bipolar contest benefits the BJP. In Delhi, what's happened? It's the Aam Aadmi Party that's got 31%. The BJP's vote has remained more or less the same. They've gone down by 1%. So whoever is seen today as the most credible alternative to the Congress is being supported by the voter. Mr. Nirupam may say that we will, our populist policies are pro-poor policies. But pro-poor policies work when you are seen to provide credible governance. You see, pro-poor policies cannot work in a vacuum. Indira Gandhi also claimed Garibi Hatao. In 71 it worked. But by 77, once the emergency came, no one trusted her. You have to, pro-poor policies, yes, can become electorally successful, but only when you are seen to provide credible governance. And look at poor Sheila Dikshit. You see, she, as Shireen rightly put, has provided relatively decent governance. But such is the level of anger against the central government that is located in Delhi, that even Sheila Dikshit has had to suffer. So, if the Congress is not going to read this message of a voter anger, of an anti-Congress tsunami, then I am afraid the Congress will be swept away in the same way in the general elections, and there Modi will be the beneficiary in some parts, and the smaller regional parties will be a beneficiary in other parts.
Rajdeep, I just want to know what the markets want to know now for tomorrow onwards. If you were to extrapolate this into general elections, last time you saw Congress winning 20 out of 24 in Rajasthan, 20 out of 25, and even in MP
Yes.
they did reasonably well.
Yes.
Can we extrapolate at this point in
Yes.
time that the BJP will win, say, 70 to 80% of these seats, and in that sense, that magic number of 200 that the market wants to talk about, that's looking slightly nearer compared to what it looked, say, about 3 months back?
See, if you look at these seats, 72 seats were in offer on Lok Sabha in these 4 states. The Congress last time won 40. The BJP, by contrast, in these very states won about 30 seats. That was the division out of these 72 seats, about 30. Now I expect that the BJP will win about 45 to 50 seats, and the Congress will come down in these states. They may win a few in Madhya Pradesh, but will come down to about 15, 16 seats. So you already seen a swing of at least 20, 25 seats if these results remain, and there's no reason why they won't in these 4 states alone. But remember, the general election battle is still 2 states, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And what is becoming clearer is the Congress is not in a position to take on a Modi or the BJP. The only hope for the Congress is that Mayawati is in a better position, just like Kejriwal was in Delhi, or that a Nitish Kumar is able to take on or a Lalu is able to take on the BJP in Bihar. Because if that doesn't happen, and I believe there is a strong reason that may not happen, Narendra Modi, after these elections, I believe now is in pole position to take the BJP to that magical 200 seat mark. So if I was a betting man, and I'm not, I would now bet on Narendra Modi clearly coming even closer to his dream of becoming the Prime Minister of India.
Okay, that's exactly what the markets want to hear from you. So you've answered the question before I asked you, Rajdeep.
I thought so. I'm not talking up the market. I'm just
No,
doing
you're not.
numbers.
No, you're not. You're not. You're giving us your extrapolation. I know you're giving us your extrapolation, and thank you for that. That's exactly that was my question as well. But now, how would you expect the Congress to behave? I thought I detected some shred of responsibility in the way Sonia Gandhi addressed, saying that I think price rise is the bigger issue. As well, she said that our chief ministers worked for the poor, especially in Rajasthan, but people have not voted us, so we have to think through these issues. Do you think at least the Congress will refrain from further freebies? Will they at least refrain from tearing the fisc apart in the next 4 months?
No, they won't. They won't, because the logic of Sonianomics remains, and as Sanjay Nirupam said, is this pro-poor populist politics. They're not going to change that overnight. And what is this introspection? You can't 4.5 years mismanage the economy, 4.5 years give a sense of drift to the country, give non-decisive leadership, and suddenly appear in front of cameras and say we are going to introspect. The voter is cleverer. That's what's happened in Rajasthan. He took the free medicines, he took the pension benefits, and he's gone and voted thumpingly against this party called the Congress Party. Yeah. The Indian voter is very wise. He saw that Ashok Gehlot for 4 years frankly sat and did precious little. Therefore, he's voted against him. Now, when you vote, I think that's important. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, sorry, is a good example because he's actually seen to be a working chief minister. Raman Singh is seen to be a working chief minister. Sheila Dikshit, unfortunately, in the last couple of years, I believe, lost the plot slightly in Delhi. She looked for other people to blame. And Arvind Kejriwal seized on the moment. And I think Delhi is a unique, let all the Aam Aadmi Party people tell you this evening that this is going to spread across the country. I don't accept it. I believe it's a Delhi-centric movement created by a peculiar confluence of circumstances, from the Anna movement right down to the rape incident that took place in Delhi, to rising vegetable prices. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for the Congress in Delhi. And Kejriwal was much cleverer than a Vijay Goyal, and therefore benefited from it.
Rajdeep, I just want to take that number you threw right now. You're not a betting man, but a pollster who has got 4 out, who has guessed this one correctly. Your exit polls were bang on. So, Vikas Khemani, I want you to respond to that. A person who knows and who has got it right in the previous occasion is telling you this, that now he would give, the NDA or the Modi coming closer to 200 a very good chance. Not NDA, the BJP coming closer to 200, a very good chance. Will this psyche work on the markets? And therefore, do you think that the bottom of this market is significantly moving up?
Absolutely. I think with these results will definitely, give confidence to the market that BJP is going past passing 200 seats or maybe plus. I mean, there are estimates and there are people who believe that they are probably getting closer to 225. So at least that confidence would come into the market and has come into the sort of overall country. And I think that definitely would keep the base for the market at this point in time. In fact, will create a positive momentum as we move forward. And I think I do feel that if Congress does anything, they might not cut on the freebies, but they might do in next 2-3 months, whatever time they have strong investment agenda, they might take few decisions which are important and all. So I think that also can give a leg up to the market. So I think multiple positive things can happen, So from market's point of view, I think overall, except QE taper, I think locally, I think most of the things would be falling in place.
Shri.
Yeah, I just want to pick up on the point that Vikas was making, that perhaps in a sense the Congress will say, let's go for broke because we have got nothing to lose. Rajdeep, is this a party that actually at this point in time has any appetite for risk, has any appetite to take a chance, has any appetite to gamble, you think?
No, Shireen, not just because of the party, but because of the person that Sonia Gandhi is. She's generally status quo. She doesn't take big gambles. In fact, if there was a real gamble that she should have taken, she should have listened to our poll that we did in June, July and think, if the Congress had called a general election today in November, they would have prevented Modi from reaching to. My belief is the longer the Congress has delayed, Modi's momentum will now spread. I have said this now for 5 months. There is a northwest monsoon in this country and it's going to stretch from Maharashtra to Bihar. That's, you can say there's a southeast drought, and yes, there are limitations that the BJP has in other states. But please understand, it's not as if the Congress is a great beneficiary. Andhra Pradesh being a good example, where the Congress isn't going to do well. Jayalalitha, who is a potential Modi ally, will do very well in Tamil Nadu. So I generally sense that the Congress, to take your question, Shireen, is not going to take any major risks. The Congress is a status quo party. They will talk the language of introspection. But at the end of the day, the big changes you need. What do you need? You need to change your leadership. Can you change the Prime Minister now?
Will there be a rethink as far as projecting Rahul Gandhi is concerned? That question was asked of Sonia Gandhi, and she said we'll take the decision at the appropriate time.
No, not possible now. Now, I mean, the last thing they want to do is put up Rahul Gandhi in a losing cause. I think, and this is purely speculation, I think the Congress has reconciled itself
to sitting in the opposition.
To sitting in the opposition and hoping against hope that they can support a non-BJP government to form. They want a repeat. Their best case scenario is 1996 plays out again, that the BJP ends at about 180 and they can't get enough allies to form the government, and then the Congress from the outside supports some kind of a third front leader, and you have general elections after 2 years. That possibility is the one possibility the Congress is going to play for.
Rajiv, very quick question. What happens in Delhi now? Because it's 33, 27 to AAP, and I think 2 to others. Are we going to see a government, or is this going to be under Lieutenant Governor for some time?
Yeah, well, I saw what Nitin Gadkari has said, who's the BJP in charge. He seems to be suggesting we will form a government. See, when you're 33, you're just too short. I think they'll form a minority government, and the Aam Aadmi Party will play it well, because they will say we'll sit in the opposition and we will sort of keep the government on notice and maybe bring it down after a year. Look, the Aam Aadmi Party, this is an ideal situation. We are all praising it for remarkable performance, and yet they haven't done as well to form a government, because the day this Aam Aadmi Party forms a government, all this idealism around it will collapse.
Let's not be cynical.
I'm not being cynical. No. Boss, I am not being cynical. This is the truth. Please tell me how the Aam Aadmi, you know better, how was it going to bring back down?
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing how
Shireen, last word,
the promises.
last word for the markets. Rajdeep, I just want to get back to the previous question. Delhi is not of prime importance for the markets. For the markets, it's what's going to happen in May. From what you said in your previous answer to Anuj, should we gather that you were never a believer that it would be a third front government in May? Now do you think that possibility is much further away?
I am now, I have been saying it for 5 months, there is a northwest monsoon. Narendra Modi is in, unless he makes a major blunder between now and April, which is possible, unless he makes that major blunder, unless the Congress agrees to tie up with a Mayawati, Nitish, even a Jayalalitha, and tries all kinds of things, today it appears increasingly likely that Mr. Narendra Modi, with the support of the likes of Jayalalitha, will form the next government in Delhi. I really believe that. Even in Karnataka, I am telling you, even in Maharashtra, I am telling you, you will see a change, because there is anger. Once the voter is angry, and this is 77 in one way,
Yes.
it's not 1996. What we have seen today is only a trailer. If the Congress doesn't realize that, then they need another bigger wake-up call from someone.
All right, as they say, picture abhi baki hai. Rajdeep Sardesai, I appreciate you joining us. Vikas Khemani, thanks very much for joining us here on the CNBC TV 18 special. We've been talking about the implications of what the electoral result mean for the economy, mean for the markets, and by all accounts at this point in time, Lata and Anuj, what is it? An all-time high tomorrow?
It's coming in opening, Shireen, because even the market reacted to the NFP data, the jobs data also positively, the SGX Nifty. So even that was indicating an all-time high is coming. The key is will that sustain? Because in the past that hasn't sustained. But
I think
as
at
Vikas
9:15, even if it's a 2% gain, we are 150 points up, and we are at 6,400.
Yes.
We don't even need a 2% gain to reach the all-time high. So that's a given. The point is whether it will sustain. And if people have heard Rajdeep loud and clear, I think that's a level that should sustain. We'll have to wrap up this special coverage of the Assembly elections. Thanks for watching.